Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and a big thank you to Explain Trade for sponsoring this wonderful, wonderful game that we are going to get into. We're going to meet all of these lovely faces in just a second, but for that, I'd like to set the scene a bit as the camera pans down from a full glistening moon up in the sky and across the deserts that make up Nevada before it settles in on Las Vegas, this large glowing ball of multicolored light and movement that ebbs and flows and never seems to quite die down all the way. It is 2021, and the year has been interesting thus far, to say the least. But we're not speaking on the qualms and queries of regular, everyday people. This story is centered around five wandering souls that have been chosen by ancient legends attached to their culture or heritage, or some that have plucked them out of thin air. And when the camera first pans down, we pan down to a lady who is sitting atop a roof, standing, technically, jumping up and down very excitedly at the moon. Bella, if you could introduce your character, give us a brief description of her.
Hey everyone, my name is Bella. I am Boondoggles. I will be playing Ume Armstrong tonight. She is a Filipino woman who is with tan skin and like a yellowish undertone. She has a flat nose with prominent nostrils, and she has like brown eyes. She is very thin, and she has two fishtail braids because it's very ironic that way. Uh, Ume is definitely just like very hype because it's probably like a full moon, and that's her favorite one. It's so full, it looks good enough to, I don't know, just like chomp. I don't, if I just, it, what if I just like one little nibble? So yeah.
And as you're standing up there, you see a gruff form sort of approach through the entrance to the roof and has a very, very cliche looking cowboy hat to adorn with his silverly plated sheriff's badge. And he sort of, and how did I know that I would be able to find you here?
I'm consistent and fun. Some people may say predictable, but I think consistent is a much nicer term.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being consistent or predictable.
I'd like to think so. Well, you'll see, though, won't we?
I got some bad news, Ume. They
Is it
found
the moon? Oh,
what?
it's not. It's not moon. What? What did you say? What did I say? What?
They they found another body, unfortunately.
Oh shit! Have you told the others?
You're the first stop. I don't really want to
Great. Cool.
walk to the wrong side of town this late.
Yeah, yeah. We're implying the same person when you say the wrong side of town, right? Like we're both thinking the same person right now in our brains, right?
I mean, maybe.
Interesting on three, two, one.
I'll be
Oh,
completely
okay.
honest. I never really have any idea what you're thinking, which is part of what
That's
makes you great. I'll be honest.
great. Okay. Predictable, but also confusing. Good, good. I'm mostly thinking about really deep, young people things like girls and drugs.
And you see that he's a little offended at the young person comment, as though he wouldn't know what young people think of, and he says, "Well, anyway, if you could make your way down to the council meeting tomorrow, we should have a talk. I mean, one death could be an unfortunate accident, but
Two
2
is
is,
a pattern.
yeah.
Is it?
So
Is it weird again?
it is.
Great, good, love it. Really excited to see how what everyone thinks. I'm sure everyone will take it super well and cool. We'll all be really cool and take it really well because we're all really good at that.
Yeah, I just hope. I always hate bringing bad news to Samir, you know?
Yeah, take it. Do that. Oh, let me hold on. Wait. I dig through my pockets to try to find some sort of candy. Bring like do something like do the cute thing where you say bad news and then you give him candy and then they'll just like be confused about how to feel. Oh, it's really, I tried it one time and it almost worked. I think I tricked them. I really think I tricked them. It's really good. Hold on, I gotta find the candy. I tried to give them Filipino candy once, and Samir puckered his lips a little bit. Might be
You, s-
because it tasted weird.
you see that Sheriff Thaddeus is like half amusing you, but half also taking the idea of bringing some type of gift to keep their spirits up seriously and goes, I, I'll stop by a convenience store on the way there.
Can you? Hey, don't tell Ransom you told me first, though. Like we have like a, it's not
Oh,
a big deal.
no,
Yeah,
trust me.
yeah. Like don't, yeah.
As far as Ransom knows, he's the first one in on. As
Perfect.
with
Thank you so
most
much.
things.
Great.
Hey,
Perfect. Thank you.
also don't try and bite anything that the Mundies might need.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. Me biting things that humans and would that be okay? Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll see you in the morning.
All right. Happy full moon.
And the camera pans and follows Thaddeus down the steps, and as he closes the fire escape door, another door opens, the one of a large trailer that is sat out toward the edge of Las Vegas. And Thaddeus sort of knocks. Anna,
What? What do you want?
uh, you decent? I gotta come talk to you about something.
If I say no, will you leave?
I will wait outside the door.
and, and you just hear like an overly dramatic amount of like banging, definitely like throwing and tossing. And the door cracks open, and a very, very tall, like probably like I don't know, mid 40s old Afro Latina woman pokes her head out. Her hair is just like a mess. Her clothes are hanging off like she's just been laying around in bed all day. She has like really long arms, really long legs, and she just kind of like crouches over in the door frame.
How are you?
Worse now that you're here, but go
You know,
on.
you
What is it?
I've missed Southern hospitality so much, and every time I talk to you, it's just like being back home.
Hey, mi casa su casa.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that they found another body, and this one's worse somehow.
It's almost impressive.
On some level.
Well,
Not too much. I want to go over it with all the council members at once. So if you could not skip out on the meeting this next morning, promise I won't keep you long.
45. Not a minute over. A second.
I can do that. Do you want same kind of treat I always get you from Duncan?
2.
All right. And after a very short, curt meeting, you close the door again. What's the inside of your sanctuary look like?
So on the outside, yes, it's this like nasty beat down trailer, but on the inside, it is like it's rich and cozy. It's almost like a dark, dim cottage. There is walls filled with books. There's a desk that's almost kind of like built into one of the walls, with it's full of like all sorts of different like pieces of paperwork and files from the council, mixed in with like sort of like beakers and collections of herbs and satchels and crystals and all sorts of kind of stuff. There is a stool that was obviously holding some books that she unnecessarily knocked over, even though she was definitely sitting in like one of the nook chairs. Um, there's definitely piles of dirty plates and cups, like she just can't be bothered.
Absolutely.
It's cozy.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. The Miss got a hold of some computer cables and decided to just pull on stuff. But last we had the camera pointed to our resident Yana, who is going through her sanctuary and just describing it. And you sort of, after stepping through and stepping over the things that you knocked over that you don't feel like picking up at the moment, you step out into the back of the field to your large coop, the door of which is slightly ajar, and you see one white and red head just sort of poke out the door and then disappear behind the door.
That's right, you stay in there.
And as you stand out there, you see this older uh, white man, very jovial looking, red face, heavy beer gut, wearing this red like skull beanie, sort of walks up and goes, "Well, hey there."
Morning, evening. Hi.
This is Christoph,
Yeah.
and he says, "You saw the sheriff pull up for a little while there. Everything all right?"
Everything, if it's not, I'll fix it and it'll be fine. There's nothing you need to worry about, Chris.
Well, just tell me if you need me. I got to go deliver the mail in the morning, so should probably be getting on to bed.
Yeah. Do you need anything to help you sleep?
Um, yeah, you still got some whiskey in there?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll go get it.
Oh boy.
You know you shouldn't be drinking this, honestly.
Right, of course, yeah. And that's why we're not gonna tell Mrs. Claus now, are we?
Hey, as long as it keeps me off the naughty list,
Man, I've been working that trick for generations. And you see, he sort of sits down in this like picnic chair, and as you step into your sanctuary, you are very, very deftly attuned with most things, but specifically with everything in this space. And as you step in and open a cabinet and grab the bottle, you feel eyes watching you.
Okay. Let's see. Can I try to sense like who these eyes like could possibly belong to? Who's watching me?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an investigate roll.
Okay. Cool. And then I'm gonna use some of my tags. 1 second, I'm getting some little D60s out. So I have a couple of different tags that could work for this. One of them is in my own little corner, which basically I can use my adaptation skills stronger, or like my adaptation skills are better if I'm in my sanctuary.
Gotcha.
And then also, you cannot fool me, which is part of my divination group of tags, which basically is, yeah, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Like,
Yeah.
you can't fool me.
Okay. So your
Not old
power is +2 to this 2d6 roll.
Ooh, okay, and that's gonna be 8. I rolled an 8.
Okay. With an 8, you do sense the direction, but who or what is old? Very old. And you hear just this ever so slight before the feeling fades, leaving just your hairs standing on end. Did you get lost in there?
No, Chris. You know, I don't. What about your own things in your own life?
That sounds depressing. My thing is kind of being nosy. You know when you're sleeping, know when you're awake. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're a little bit of a creep, man. But
Listen, I have never done it in any weird type of way. It sounds that where's the damn whiskey?
Okay. And Yana just grabs like 2 of what she hopes are clean glasses and goes out to drink with Chris.
All right. And as you step outside and close the door behind you, Samir, you close the door of your apartment after meeting up with Sheriff Thaddeus, who was supposedly just walking from the candy store or the convenience store with a bag full of snacks and confectionery treats. And he goes, well, guess I should.
I do have something to say, and it's very important, and you can't be mad at me for this. And Samir like reaches into their tight jeans and pulls out a cell phone and says, I fried this one. I need another burner.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll just, when you come to the meeting tomorrow, which I'll need you to attend, I'll have another one for you.
Are we supposed to be having a meeting tomorrow?
Not usually, but there's been a development in that unpleasantness that I told y'all about last meeting.
Samir just looks around, looking very confused.
The body, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that Sheriff Thaddeus. Well, do you want a Kit Kat?
I'd love a Kit Kat.
And the sheriff will hand you the chocolate bars, and then we'll say, we didn't exactly catch them. There's actually been another one. Another body.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody. We're gonna...
But why? Why is this happening?
Well, that's what we're gonna try and figure out. Miss Monroe thinks that she might have a bit of an idea, so we'll have to see tomorrow.
All right. And as Samir says that, it starts to rain outside.
Yeah. Well, just try not to get too down on yourself about it, buddy. We gotta focus on the people that we can help.
You're right. I believe in us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I think I got about one more stop to make, and then I'll just give Ransom a ring. I don't feel like going all the way over there.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow then. Thanks for the snack.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, and then the camera will move over to official. What are you doing about right now?
There we go. You muted all of them. Muted too many. Yeah. So official is where you can kind of always find him. He's at the junkyard working because he still has like a 7 to whenever.
And as you're sifting through the junkyard, you're currently just kind of looking through things, seeing the interesting things that people throw away in Las Vegas, uh, outside of Las Vegas proper, but still in that general area. And you hear a tap on some metal, and you turn and you see a woman standing there, short cropped blonde hair that's sort of pulled into a tight bun toward the back, wearing a dark gray suit with a white shirt underneath it that is has a dark green tie over top of it. You recognize this as one of the council members, Lisa Munro.
And you and she tapped. Where was she coming in from?
She's just like walking towards you, tapping her very long acrylic nails along some. Miss Tech Gremlins. Ah, as we were
Rifts don't like
saying,
to be perceived.
that is actually canonically correct. And but official, you see this woman approaching you. It is Lisa Monroe. She is a part of the council as well. And as she sort of slides her nails across the different bits of metal, she says, "Still working here, huh?"
Well, I mean, what else you want? What else am I going to be doing? Like, there's kind of not much to do right now.
I offered you positions at the company quite a few times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm kind of not really a suit and tie kind of guy.
You don't say.
Official isn't like just very kind of overworn, like a sweater over a hoodie with like pants that have been like patched up multiple times.
Well, I come bearing grave tidings, unfortunately. I found another body.
Another body.
Yeah. The sheriff wants us all together to deal with it in the morning.
I mean, man, when duty calls, right?
I suppose.
Is this one kind of weird like the last one? Do I need to bring like a vapor rub this time? Because the last one kind of smelled really bad, and like I didn't want to lose my cool, but like I was definitely gonna lose my cool
Oh, this one is
and my lunch.
this one's worse. So
Oh,
maybe skip lunch.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And you see, is she just like cocks one eyebrow, just slowly turns and whistles her way out, digging one nail along metal, making this loud screeching noise as she walks.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has Monroe been here? But like
Been in the
more than
scrapyard
once for
before?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As was leaving, you could hear kind of like off in the distance by the like the main office. It's a small kind of like office building. Fischl, your lady friend is here again. And Fischl just kind of does like one of these.
And
Thanks,
you hear
Ma.
a small chuckle from Lisa as she returns to her car, which brings us to our final person, which would be Ransom. Ransom, where are you right now?
Given the time of day, or I suppose the time of night, Ransom is likely at the casino. He is a, how do you say, connoisseur of blackjack, baccarat, anything you can think of, really. And that's how he makes most of his money. And there's a lot of that. So you can find him at his usual haunt.
Okay. So you are likely schmoozing, enjoying, complimenting all around as you see fit. And you probably have a very exasperated sigh when you hear the dulcet tones of Thaddeus come from behind you and say, "Mind if I could borrow your time for a little bit?"
Thaddeus, I'm working.
Yeah, you seem quite busy. And he sort of looks over your shoulder to the card game that you're playing currently with no one at the moment. You've sent people off from your table because you had a hand that you did not like, so you just shut the whole thing down.
Well, you're here, so what is it?
There's been a advancement in that case that I was telling you all about. I found another body.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's,
Who knows about this?
Well, I started with you, and I plan to go hit Ume next. Sure, she'll be up for a while.
Well, that was wise. And he gets like his box of cigarettes halfway out of his pocket and then looks at the like no smoking signs that are around and goes, puts it back in his pocket. Do we have details?
Yeah, I want to go over them when we're all together. So.
Oh, I know the others
I
don't
could
quite
make her
take
a-
news like this as well. So, good luck to you.
Yeah. If I could make a request, try not to show up hungover or still drunk. That counts.
I make no promises, but if it means that much to you, I'll try.
Much obliged. And you watch Sheriff Thaddeus Green exit out through the doors into the interscape of the greater Las Vegas area. And this wasn't originally going to take 15 minutes, but ladies, gentlemen, and everyone who finds themselves inside and out of the gender spectrum, my name is Dee, and this is City of Mist All or Nothing. The title card sort of pops up, the words made out of mists themselves. And with me, I have a whole slew of wonderful people. We've already met Bella, so let's start with RK and continue to go clockwise from there.
Hi, I'm RK. I'm going to be playing Samir Shiras. They are a darker skinned person with black hair and a luscious beard. They look freshly combed, freshly groomed, and they have a very serious and like tall sort of build. But the thing that throws it off is their dopey smile and his like very honest eyes that you look at and you go, "Oh, this child has never thought a single thought." They wear a white tank top crop top with fringes where like the cutoff part is supposed to be, and a choker around their neck, and they wear dagger earrings and very tight jeans at all times. And I'm RK. I play that character. You can find me on Twitter at RussWildest.
Wonderful. And next we have Gnome.
Hey, sup? I'm Gnome, and I'm playing Official Rabinowitz, who is as boring and as plain Jane as can be. His and my pronouns are he, him. He's got kind of like messy, like kind of like amber brown hair, pretty brown eyes, very bushy eyebrows, clean cut, little bit of like rosy cheeks, and his clothing is, I mean, as secondhand can get, and whatever he can just sew up and repair is what he can. Yeah, he's kind of just a brick on a wall. You really couldn't pick him out of a crowd because he looks just like the crowd, and that's okay. Maybe. Who knows?
And next up we have Max.
So I'm Max. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns. My character, Ransom, uses good old-fashioned he, him pronouns. Ransom's hair is black on one side and green on the other. It's dyed so close to the root that it almost looks like it grows naturally that way. Everything about him is kind of serpent-like, including his eyes that are sort of a yellowing amber, and his tattoos that adorn his arms, the main one being the Ouroboros on the inside of his forearm, just below his elbow. He almost always wears a button down to try to keep it professional, but it's never buttoned all the way up.
Awesome. And then we have Liv.
Buddy, my name's Liv. You can find me on Twitter at Live in a Day. I'm going to be playing Yana Maria Banderas. You can just call her Yana. And she is an older woman, kind of into her years, rough as they have been. She just has the energy of somebody who has stayed up through the whole night partying and ending up in a Denny's at 6 a.m. without any sleep way too many times. She is this very tall Afro-Latina woman, wild hair that's like curly, but also definitely not well taken care of, knotted, and she just kind of throws it up. She wears like these just oversized like flannels and sweatshirts. She herself is very tall and lanky. She's got bags under her eyes. She always looks like you don't want to talk to her, and she definitely doesn't want to talk to you. But for some reason, she's on city council. Not city council. She's good at what she does, and she will help people out if they really need it. Yeah, she lives on the outskirts of Las Vegas in her trailer van home situation.
Perfect. And it's with that we begin to bear down on this very ramshackled office-like building, one floor of which is completely devoid of inhabitants except for the five of you. The aforementioned Lisa Munro, and another gentleman who stands at about 5'9" or so, short, cropped sides to the mohawk on the hair, and you know that this is Fadi Malik, and he is also a member of the council, along with the person opening the door with a whole trough of coffees in hand and about 12 or so donuts. that he sets down as Thaddeus Green walks in. Well, I actually managed to get all of you to show up at the same time. Should win an award or something.
Are there awards for being on the council?
I mean,
For you, sweetie, the award is being on the council.
Cool.
And he will start passing out drinks, which are exactly what you would want out of a Starbucks. And sits down and says, "All right, well, I suppose we should just get right into the meat of things. They found another body, as you're all aware, and he will take out a what looks like a reused Amazon package, and he'll take a couple of pictures out of it and put them image side down and say, these are a little bit much. So, and he'll slide them across the table to you all and say, what we know from what the coroner tells me is it's a gentleman by the name of James Edwin Monroe. It's likely that he was probably a borderliner, seeing as we weren't exactly familiar with him outside of Mr. Malik here, of course. But damn shame. It looks like a lot of the same things that were on the first body. And as you all flip over the pictures, you see that this body is essentially mummified. It looks dried, hollowed, and just the death grip on each hand is very tight. It looks stiff even from the picture, almost as though it was frozen in place, eyes very sunken, things like that. And he says, and it's been drained in some sort of way, just like the other one. But this one, an odd underneath it. And he points to a picture that shows the back of the neck. And you see this symbol that almost looks like 3 crude question marks that revolve around a single point. He says, no clue what that means, but it's something. That's what we can go on for as far as now. So what are we all thinking?
Ume will probably look a lot different than she did last night. Like, she probably looked very wild and unkept with her hair all over the place, but now her hair is like dark and pinned back and like braided perfectly and just staring straight ahead and looking. Do you think that they're trying to maybe get our attention? Like, this is maybe for us in particular.
I think that they're trying to get attention for sure. I think that there's something that's trying to be said, but
I don't think you go all through all that trouble if you just want someone dead. I mean, doing that to a body feels unnecessary.
It could be ritualistic.
frustrating.
Yeah.
It very well
I'd
could
have-
be, but it's frustrating because these are barely ritualistic symbols. This is grammar. This is
Maybe it's like
these
a countula, like whatever that one guy from Sesame Street is, but like different and with punctuation. Maybe that's it.
Maybe someone's just been reading too many Batman comics?
Could be.
Anyway, and Yana like turns to Ransom and Fischl. So, any actual theories?
I think like Fish will kind of like folds up or curls his fingers around like the brown lunch bag that he's carrying that is his lunch that he will save for later because it was that was a good idea. Lisa Monroe, that was a good idea. And he kind of moves forward and kind of squats down to inspect the body a bit. Are there any other markings, or do we know how it got mummified? I mean, that's a long process. You don't just mummify something overnight.
Yeah, it seems definitely a little odd. That's why we wanted to officially get all hands on deck for this. This is a bit too much just for me to be focusing on. So if it is something to do with some type of magic, that would definitely be a bit more up Miss Banderas's alley. If you all want to go visit the coroner, I'm sure the good doctor will be happy to have you. And then there's also the matter of the location. So it was found outside of a homeless center by a Monday.
Oh, shit.
Ransom
Has the-
groans very loudly. A big
Has the Monday been taken care of? Or
They've been, and then you see Lisa sort of tap her nails on the desk and say, I'm taking care of it.
all right, well, you've never given us a reason not to trust you. And I look at the group. Anyways,
And then they continue and say, but as I was saying, luckily for us, unluckily for most of the population, the Monday reported it to the police, and since it was a homeless person, it's kind of just been shoved off the desk. So we're able to clean it up, grab the Monday, sort of explain a couple of things to him. Miss Monroe has suspicions that they might be a borderliner, or maybe even a touched, but that is something for Mr. Malik to handle when he goes to speak to the young lady this evening.
okay, so we haven't questioned her yet.
This was outside a homeless shelter. Do we have security footage?
That would be something that would be the onus of y'all to procure. I'm going to try and get inside the police station and get rid of whatever report they do have on all of this, and hopefully we can handle it in-house. Fingers crossed at the very least. But, yeah. The young woman's name who found the body, her name is Alice. She actually works at, and he picks up the coffee cup and shakes it a bit.
Thaddeus,
So-
we don't know. No one knows who these people really were, right?
Well, the coroner had an odd bit of trouble trying to discern that. Usually when a mythoi has left its mark on a body, even after that body's soul has departed, there's still residual. But,
Mm.
and you see Thaddeus. Thaddeus looks tired. Like, Thaddeus looks like he probably hasn't slept since he spoke to you all last night. And he sort of leans forward and says, the good doctor thinks that the reason they look mummified is that they might have had the legend sucked out of them somehow.
Wait, that's possible?
It's not supposed to be. It's not really how it works.
I thought you were damned with it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But seems like maybe not.
Well, I mean, not forever. It's either, I mean, clearly this person didn't get away with it. They're dead. The rift was sucked out of them, and they're dead.
It's kind of
I think that says
says something about their abilities, doesn't it? That they have discovered something that even us as the council have not known.
What if it's their own abilities?
Usually mythos don't work that way, right? We can't just.
And even if they do, that's an even worse problem.
Oh shit.
Well,
That's a
they're
bad problem.
That would
mean-
be very, very bad.
we know of several myths that have a very voracious appetite, but none that manifests itself this way. But as you all know, we don't know every myth in the world. There's so many different cultures, so many different legends that could come back at any time. This could be one of us. I would imagine it has to be, because I shudder to think of a Monday being able to do whatever this is. But
Can I? Maybe not. Never mind.
Is it possible that there's a myth that deals with the phrase "you're what you eat" or something like that?
several, but
Back home and do some research.
gonna have to look into it. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna do research too. I think about just googling it as soon as I get home. Just googling body look like question mark.
and you see that Mr. Malik sort of signs to you all as he is mute. He sort of signs to you all, which you all understand. Anyone who sits down at my table, your character knows American Sign Language unless there's an in-character reason that you don't. And he signs to you all and says, I'm planning on making a trip to see Alice, to see what's going on with her. Check if she's actually a Mundi, just to make sure. Lisa's got a good nose, but it's not as good as these, and sort of taps towards his eyes. So, Sheriff nods and stands. Well, should probably get to work.
All right. Does anyone have an ability that would help them investigate? Because I don't think I do.
Oh, I was actually gonna have Yana, as they're leaving, tap the top of the Thaddeus's cup, like his coffee cup. And I'm essentially, I can roll for this if you want me to, but I'm essentially going to cast a spell, using both my adaption, which is ability, or adaption
Talent, yeah.
rift stuff to cast spells, but also using my expression abilities, which are based in bending luck. So I'm basically going to cast a boon on the sheriff's coffee.
Okay.
That's so awesome.
Give him energy while he does his search.
Okay.
You're literally spiking his coffee with more
Literally.
more caffeine. You're like, haha.
As you mutter the incantation and tap the coffee lid, you actually see a bit more weight is added to the coffee cup as it's refilled as well. And he flips it open and goes, "You know you're my favorite," and he'll
Oh.
from it and leave. Lisa, who has seemed kind of unperturbed by all this, is sitting there and is like, "Well, I hesitate to wonder if I have added too many resources to this investigation to begin with. But if you all need use of me or my company, I believe you know where to get a hold of me. Especially you, Mr. Midgard."
Yeah, you got it.
Do be careful and try not to, ruin our society's secrecy or anything like that.
I only ruin our society's secrecy on the 7th of every month. Thanks, though.
Are they scheduled?
Yes, yes. You're all very charming. You see, she gets up, folds a few papers away, grabs her briefcase, and goes, "All right, tell me if you find anything." She leaves.
Fucking hate her.
Are we keeping a schedule? Is that like what we're doing now? I didn't know that that's what we discussed. Like I thought we had like Google Calendar, right? That we all have together, and then that's
I was being facetious. I was
right.
just kidding.
That's very fun. That's really charming and fun. Fun and charming.
You see Fadi also go, like he was pretty sure that there was something he was missing from that conversation, but
What an absolutely insufferable woman. Okay.
We don't have to really
up,
tell
kid.
her anything, right? We can just like keep it on the DL, like on a need to know basis. And she
I'd
doesn't
rather
really need to know.
I'd rather it that way. Yeah.
Great. Let's.
I mean, she is like part of the team, though.
No. Oh, well,
That's
she's
fine.
Samir. She's like a part of the team in the way that like a manager
Like
is a part of the band.
officials.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, still kind of a necessary part, though. I mean, look, this isn't a meeting, right? It's just it's an email. All we gotta do is just email.
I'm just saying there's a little bit of. I'm not saying that you're super biased because I heard about the thing, but it's not a big deal. All I'm saying is we don't trust her. We barely trust each other.
Heard about what thing?
What you, Samir? Look, I have a Kit Kat.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I know today has been a rough day for you, and I brought you a Kit Kat.
You got one of the big ones. There's enough for each of us.
Yeah, I did. I got a huge. I didn't bring it for sharing, but yeah, it's yours, so you can do what you like with it.
Samir immediately begins breaking off pieces and handing one to everybody.
You see that Fadi looks at you, Ume, and is just like,
hands one to Fadi, and then looks down and realizes he doesn't have one, and goes, "That's fine."
Fadi
No.
will hand you the Kit Kat back.
Everybody hands the Kit Kat.
Yeah, we all bring it back.
Actually, no. Yana definitely like when Samir's holding it out, looks him dead in the eye, and then like just like a gremlin just snatches it out with her mouth, just like almost bites his fingers.
I don't think Ransom would have taken it in the first place. Would have just kind of
Are you sure, Ransom?
far too early for chocolate.
Fadi will say, yes, he'll ruin his model-like figure.
You laugh, but
No, me live player laughs. No, Fadi got it going on. I know.
And you see he starts together and says, I will see you all soon. Be very careful. Stay in touch.
Yeah, that's our like middle name. The team's middle name is Careful or Wave.
That
We're like
doesn't
the
sound
least-
true at all.
We're literally the least careful team. Like of all the council people, we are literally the worst.
The moment it's just the five of us, Smear like nods and thinks for a second and goes, Sheriff Thaddeus never gave me a phone.
I can get you a phone, Samir. I can find you a burner if you want.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure we got plenty.
I can
at the
find you
jump
something
point.
much nicer than a burner if that's what you want.
I mean, I just need something that calls and texts.
Ransom, you have 3 phones on your person at the moment. I don't know if you will be so generous as to give one, but you do have multiple phones on you at the moment.
I got 2
phones. One for the.
I will give
one for the
Samir
bug.
not my personal phone, but one of my. I give this number to people I meet in the casino and maybe want to do business with phone.
Gotcha.
Smear takes the phone and
Do
says,
not call any numbers that are in here. Do not text any numbers that are already in here.
what
You
if I
understand.
get a text, though?
Don't answer it unless it's from one of us or
Okay.
Thaddeus.
Just remember to remind me to take it out of my pocket before I jump.
Okay, that seems fair.
You know what? If I was good with technology, I would bless you something. I would make you something.
You know, I'm insured. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
I'll
Listen, they haven't made jump-proof technology yet. I'm waiting for it.
You know, Yana, you're great at everything else. You know,
That'll be on the next gen.
So, the 5 of you, where are you making your first stop to begin your investigation?
Ooh, they said they were going to investigate Alice tomorrow or today.
Fadi is supposed to be meeting with Alice this evening, but it is
okay.
mostly going to be to determine whether or not she is a mythoi or if she is a rift or not.
Okay.
We should hit
We
that
should.
doctor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, especially because one of my power tags is thinks like a killer. So I think corner might be a good idea.
And I can do some divination stuff. Let's go. Let's party.
We
Let's
should
do
also
this.
get to the scene of the crime and look for the camera thing that Ransom mentioned. Cameras.
We can also look for witnesses too. I've got I picked an ability called I wrote it called everybody's. So basically, you can just kind of like talk to everybody and kind of pick up everybody's business to see like who knows what and who was where, sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh my god! And he said that in front of her. How dare he?
Okay, so you guys begin to make your way not actually out of this office building. You just get into the elevator and press floor 1, and then press floor 13, and then press floor 1 again. And you see the small light that tells you what level you're going to sort of flickers blue for a second, and then continues to go down past the first floor. And you're immediately met with the sort of chill of a almost refrigerator type setting, and the linoleum and anesthetic smell of what reminds you of a hospital. And as the door opens, you see this old man who is probably just cresting over 5 feet sort of stick his head out and go, "Oh, it's you all. Thought someone had finally come to get me. Please, come in, come in. Wonderful day."
We're here
What?
for you, though.
The
We're coming to
what?
get you.
No.
You see, like, as those words are said, you see just blind panic across the face for a second, which is quickly dismissed and this nods. This is Dr. Edgar Markov. And he sort of ushers you all in. It's like, come in, come in. So, how have you all been doing?
Rather than usual.
Mm.
Beautiful moon yesterday, which you know I love. It's the best.
Still working on...
Ransom.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Good.
Still working on consuming the moon?
Listen, just like
Don't encourage her. I don't know why you people encourage her.
I think people should live up to their goals.
Thank you. Exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong. Did I flood the earth in another life? Yes, I did. That's not the point. The point
Wow.
is,
It's just water.
yeah, and it's just the moon. What if it tastes like cheese, Yana? What if it tastes like cheese? And then I could tell
You
you.
could eat cheese.
It does. It's not actually cheese. It's the moon. It's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you eaten the moon? How would you know it doesn't taste like cheese?
You think the
we
OC will be
have
mad
talked
at you?
about this so many times. If you want to eat the moon, you can eat cheese. You can eat moon
But
pies.
you've given
You
me
can
like
eat so many things.
You've given me so many circular things, and every time I tell you it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not like you gave me a pie the other day, and first of all, you almost tried to put it in my face. I'm assuming accidentally, and it's not the same. All right,
You know, I
Well-
watched a show one time where someone's girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
Mm.
While that argument is happening, pulls out the last piece of chocolate that Ransom refused and holds it out to the doctor and says, "I got an extra piece of chocolate. You want one?"
Ooh, candy. And you see, he takes it and very quickly, very goblin-like, just...
oh, cutie.
All right. Well, what are we talking about? Right,
Oh.
the corpse. This way. And he speeds off down another hallway and through another door. And as you all follow, you see that the interior of here is very, very brightly lit. There are several different corners, tools meant to do quite a few things to prepare people for this. Mr. Markov, Dr. Markov, is sort of the end all be all for mythoid death specializations. He usually will diagnose the time, cause of death, and will also perform the proper funeral rites if there are any to be performed. And we'll go. So, very, very odd, this one. Kind of like the last one that I was brought. Lots of odd bodies. And that's weird considering, we're mythical legend people. So, this one, and he points to the first body, which, while mummified and drained, does not look nearly as dehydrated, for lack of a better term, as the second body. This is the one that you have all seen before. It is a young man with what you imagine was once ginger hair that is faded gray, freckles, pale-faced, laying there, spread out across the table, sheet covering up to the neck. And he says, and then this is the unfortunate new guest of mine. So, and you see that this is a very, you would assume that this was once a very handsome young man, sort of sandy blonde hair, a smattering of freckles across the face as well, and just very broad shoulders, even though they've been shriveled up in whatever has done this to them. If you do not have an applicable talent, spell, or ability, then I will ask you all to roll me investigate.
Yeah, I don't have any skills like that.
Just anything you can think of that would apply. And if you don't know for sure, just ask. I'll let you know.
I have and this might be more applicable to when we go to the actual location or both, but I have the ability to see what was like, by definition, like what was here before. So like the ability to basically like look into the past.
Okay, I would say that would definitely apply to this.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's
Gotcha.
what I got.
As I
And
mentioned briefly, I have things like a killer, if that will help at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can add that to your power pool.
I am actually going to roll one of my weakness tags.
Okay.
I have a weakness called easily distracted.
Very good.
Gotcha. Go ahead and subtract 1 from your power pool. Yeah.
Yep.
Official, you got anything, or are you looking at a flat 2d6?
If there are belongings, maybe to sift through, I have an ability called Junk Can Tell Stories.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go through their belongings, 100%. Ume, what you got?
I think I'm rolling a straight 2d6 because mine are a lot of mobility stuff.
Okay, sounds good. So with your modifiers in mind, let's go with these rolls. Let's start with Ransom.
Got a 9.
9, okay. Samir?
5.
Sounds about right. Yana?
Got a cute little 6.
Okay. Official?
10.
10. Okay. Ume?
7.
Okie doke. So, Samir, as you are looking over these bodies, you notice a cat out of the corner of your eye. Just this small, what looks like a tabby, a little oddly colored. Instead of orange, it's dark purple.
Does Samir recognize the cat or no?
Not that you think of.
Okay. Samir immediately ducks down, goes onto balances, crouches, squats, and goes, "Come here, come here."
Oh,
And
animal
cat
companion. Animal
begins to
companion.
slowly approach, and as it does, this wide smile breaks across the cat's face.
Samir just smiles back.
Okay. And that's happening. Yana, as you sort of begin to, well, describe to me what your attempt at this divination magic looks like.
I think it's different than like the kind of stuff she does when she's like so I think she more just like rolls her sleeves up, kind of like cracks her back, and more kind of like goes into a state like she extends her hands over these bodies, and just kind of like tries to breathe in their presence. I I don't think her eyes turned colors or anything. I do think there's like a little bit of the room's already cold. I think it gets colder. I think all the heat sort of gets like sucked in towards Yana, like she's the center of it. So all the heat from the room gets sucked away even more. So it's even colder as she's trying to like go back and see if there's anything that she can discern
Gotcha.
from when this person died.
And as you begin to attempt to delve into those memories, because with a 6 that is unfortunately a miss, you there's a blockage for some reason. Something's obscuring your vision and keeping you from extending your sight into this person's past. Now, my two folks who got a 7, that would be Ume and Ransom. You all are investigating these bodies. Ume, with just a 7, you sort of look them over, and there's a moment where the past senses of the dragon sort of seep into your present mind state, kind of going from unconscious to conscious. And they say, "Doesn't seem like something we've seen before, but curious. A being that eats, but not the flesh. No bites taken, no stab wounds.
Hey,
Body's intact."
dragon friend, have you in history ever known a mythos that has been able to consume other mythos, take them away from each other?
Outwardly, I don't believe so. Not in this way, at least.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Ransom, with Think Like a Killer, you begin to do a very different type of investigation. It is one that you do quite a lot, where you think of it from the perspective of what would I gain from this? The first body that you saw was a college student that was found far away from their campus in a parked car near a pier. Or wait, I forgot we're in Las Vegas. In a parked car outside of a casino. And this body was found. No connection there. College students are broke. Homeless people are usually pretty low on material funds, so it wasn't a robbery. So what was stolen must have been the powers. However that works, you're not exactly sure. Official, as you're going through the possessions, you are going through a college student's to-go bag. So there is just everything in here. There's a couple of those plastic sets of utensils that were never really opened or were just shoved in here as a, well, maybe I'll need it one day. And there was also several different books, papers that haven't been finished, folders. One second.
There's no time.
And also, as you're going through this, you notice a business card, and you sort of flip it over, and it is for a construction worker, Jason Klein. And you don't really think too much of it. I mean, it could mean anything. They could have been anywhere. But then you go through the homeless person, Mr. Jason Minot, or excuse me, James Minot. You go through his belongings, and you find another business card for Jason Klein. Pretty sure you found a thread.
Hey, you guys finding anything about the bodies? Because these might be kind of important. This Jason Klein.
Yana opens her eyes and slams her hands down on this fucking medical table. It's just like, I'm not finding out dicks, so what'd you find?
Found business cards. Yeah, he hands them over.
All right.
Jason Klein.
It's the same one. So,
Can I see one then?
All right.
Samir
Jason
says-
Klein. Go ahead. Yeah.
Samir goes, Doc, when'd you get a cat? Psst, 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 psst.
I'm actually deathly allergic to cats.
Oh, then how'd this little guy get in here?
Oh,
I think, like, okay, the cat is now in Samir's arms.
as you sort of turn to speak to the doctor questioning about the cat, turn back and the cat is gone.
Oh, he left.
Right. Uh-huh. Well, anyway, if you all are done going through various things, I have to do the more stomach churning part of this job, so I don't think you want to be here for that bit.
Nope. Definitely, we got what we came for. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, best of luck in your investigation, and be careful. I'd hate to have to cut any of you open. That'd be terrible.
Samir just makes a face and leaves.
All right.
A weird goodbye, Like he could just been like, I'll see y'all later. Be safe.
Guy.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I'll see you next time.
Inside
Like,
of a body, right? It's
like there's a murderer out there. Like, why would he say that? Sometimes I like him, he's really helpful and really nice, but other times I'm like,
Done this for a long time. He knows what he's doing, but he is a weird guy.
can we have like one person outside this team? I look at the team. Can we just have one person we interact with at all that's just like normal, like cool?
No.
Fadi's not bad.
Y'all not see
Yeah,
the
okay,
cat?
Fatty's cool. Yeah, Fatty's all right. I definitely did not see that cat. I'm not saying it's not real.
He was
But it's
purple and had a
not.
big smile.
But it's
Right.
not real.
Purple.
That's
Like someone dyed it.
I don't know.
That
Seemed
purple,
really nice.
purple. That reminds me of a myth. Isn't that like the Cherished Cat or something? The Alice in Wonderland
Oh,
bit?
yeah, the little cartoon.
Yeah. I
It was
met
a
one.
book first.
Was it?
I'm gonna say it's too early for cartoons to start getting.
It was
Well,
a book. It was a book first, and the cat is named after some bread or cheese dish from Cheshire.
Seems about
If
right.
I'm not wrong.
You ever wonder if we're like if it's based off multiple medias, which media the mythos would come from? You ever think about those deep thoughts? No? All right.
I mean,
I don't
old as
really got
hell,
much
so-
going on.
Right. Okay. Totally. Yeah. Not
A
just
few
me, I guess.
comics.
I mean,
maybe.
Ransom, like, it's about, yeah. I think your level of clout as like a myth is accurate. I think it fits you.
Okay, we don't have to do this right now. I think we should probably figure jobs.
We're doing our jobs. Yeah, we got it. No
So
worries.
D, what is written on these business cards?
On the
While
business
we're on
cards,
our way back up.
it says JK Constructions. It is mostly green. There's a phone number and an email. And as you all are making your way out of the doctor's office, as it were, stepping out onto the afternoon Las Vegas strip, we are going to take our break there. And we will be back soon with the final half of this inaugural episode. And it sounds like we're going to look into a certain Mr. Klein. All right, we will talk to you all soon. We suggest you also take a break, get up, stretch, drink some water, make sure you're hydrated, make sure you got some snacks, and we will be right back. Hi, welcome back. Hopefully you all got your break and your stretches in, and you are in place and ready for the dramatic conclusion of the premiere episode of this wonderful little show that we've got going on here. Our dearest moonchild, Bella, is just wrapped up moving quite a far to a new place. So she has had to depart for the rest of this episode so that she could get some ding-dang rest. And we love her and wish her the best. And we will see more of Ume next week. But for those of you who are still here, you begin to exit out onto the Las Vegas Strip. Ume lets you know that she has something tethered to her mundane life that she has to attend to, and that she'll catch up with you guys as soon as she can. And then there's not an address on the business cards, so how would you like to proceed?
So we can Google the construction site, but while we're doing that, we should still probably check out the homeless shelter and see if they have any cameras so we can see what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good with me.
So you all begin to make your way that way as you are Googling this JK construction, and not a whole lot is coming up. It seems like this is, if anything, it doesn't have a heavy online presence when it comes to whatever it is this construction company does. Ransom, there's something that's sticking with you. Something about Jason Klein. That name it's weird. It's sticking out. You get an idea to send it out to one of your more affluent contacts, people who frequent the casino that you frequent in particular, who are of Mythoi persuasion. Who would you send a text like that to?
Perhaps not someone that I am just in frequent contact with, but another player I've allied myself with. I don't know if I have a specific name or mythoi in mind.
Okay.
But an old friend from old money who's been in Las Vegas for a long time and knows the ropes.
All right, gotcha. And you send that feeler out around the same time that you all arrive at the homeless shelter. You can all very quickly surmise the one alleyway because it is on the corner of the street you're at, so there's only really they could have been found in. Or you could also go inside. You can handle it however you see fit.
Samir's probably going to head into the homeless shelter.
I guess I will follow Samir into the homeless shelter to do necessary damage control.
Okay. Fischel and Yana?
Yana's gonna stay outside to like do her rituals and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Fischel's going to stay on the outside area to try to like pay attention to like what's across the street, who's got eyes that could have potentially seen, so he can start going like door to door talking.
Gotcha. Sounds good. So we'll begin with inside the shelter. As you walk up, you see this older black woman, hair's beginning to gray, pulled back into two tight braids that go down to about the collar of her uniform. She sort of looks up and goes, "Yeah."
Hi. This is going to be a weird question, but do you happen to have any sort of like security cameras around here?
Well, that's not really something we can afford here. Usually there's a couple angles on the streetlights, like
Okay.
when cars go by too fast. Are you here about what was found? Who was found? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're kind of looking into it. Were you here that night when everything happened?
I wasn't, but James was apparently a resident for a little while. I just started recently, so I don't really know. Um, but I can have, and she starts to look around and grab a piece of paper, which she writes down. If you give me your name and a number, I can have the manager contact you because I know that he was called down here when all that started to happen.
I immediately look to Ransom because I do not know this phone's phone number.
Take mine, ma'am. And he will write his initials only and his personal phone number.
Okay. And as she's taking down the phone number, she goes, RM. Isn't that is that one of those K-pop names? I feel
Oh,
like I recognize that.
no, just force of habit when you're hired privately.
Oh, private investigator type thing. Okay. Well, I will tell Tim to call you for when the night shift starts.
One more question,
I-
if you don't mind. You said the security cameras or not the security cameras, the red light cameras may have gotten it. Do you know if any of the surrounding stores or hotels have security footage that we would be able to tap?
I don't know how good the angle of it is, but I know that the Starbucks across the street has a security camera.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then, meanwhile, outside, Yana and Official. Yana, what type of ritual are you preparing exactly?
Yeah, I think it's more in depth. Like before, she was just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna call on my own sort of mental abilities. I think this is much more like arcane and academic. I think she's actually kind of like pulls junk out of her bag, like is handing stuff to Official, like hold this, pulling stuff out, and is more kind of like making sigils and stuff. So that way I can use the tag toil and trouble. And then I'm also going to use the tag the past lingers, and I'm using like my magical abilities to heighten my divination.
Okay. And you're trying to investigate is the base
yes.
stat? Okay.
Yes.
And you're just doing like a general trying to get a feel through your powers of not looking for anything specific. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, basically trying to get an idea of what might have happened here, trying to tap into the past.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So go ahead and roll me 2d6 plus your power pool, which I believe is 2. While that ritual is being prepared, hold on to the result of that roll for me. Official, as you're handed a couple of things that are then like maybe 5 seconds later, very hastily snatched out of your hands. Um, and what would you like to do as you see that Yana is clearly beginning to do one of her rituals? You guys are, by the way, toward the mouth of this alleyway, because Yana, you would know better than to practice your magic just standing on a street corner. Um, and so, Official, what are you getting into?
Yeah, I think officials kind of both acting as a like maybe a lookout to make sure that nobody like disturbs Yana as she's working on her ritual, but he's also kind of trying to pay attention to, excuse me, like the flow of traffic of where people kind of move about. You mentioned that there's a Starbucks, so sure there's a security camera there. If there's like an apartment complex or something, like the different type of buildings that are there and where people would be. And if he notices like a which means they tend to gossip and talk about stuff, especially if there's been a body found. He's going to want to eventually go there. And I think because you mentioned the Starbucks, most people go back to Starbucks. So he will probably want to head there.
As far as what you're looking for, there is the option of the Starbucks, and there is also sort of a recreational area that's right across from the homeless shelter that has like two basketball hoops set up and a couple different tables, somewhere for kids to fuck around as much as they can in such a inner city environment. It's very bare bones, as those things tend to be. But you can certainly start with the Starbucks. As you step in, you see the barista behind the counter looks up and goes, "Hello. What can I grab for you?"
Water. Would just water would be great just for now. Yeah, just water.
Okay. And she grabs a cup and fills it up with water and hands it to you.
Okay. Thanks. Official's gonna just kind of like find a little place to sit where there's like kind of people. He wants to just eavesdrop. He wants to like a good yenta. They don't necessarily get the information firsthand.
So
wants to hear who's talking to who's gabbing away.
All right, go ahead and make me a investigation check and add your appropriate tags. And as you do that, roll will jump back to Yana, who has finished this ritual. What did you roll?
I got a 10, baby. So I used power 2, so I get 2 questions, 2 clues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will say, stream, I am not super familiar with City of Mist, so bear with me a bit. I will say that you can have either 2 questions, or you can impose a vision, which will leave you 2 clues. The vision, the clues may not be clear cut, but the questions I will answer directly.
Okay. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what I was going to ask, and then I'll let you make the most like interesting narrative call. So basically my 2 questions were going to be, do I sense another person's magic here?
Yeah.
And then what was like the last like strong emotion here? Person just purely feel fear? Did the victim feel like betrayal, confusion? You know what I mean? Because like in my mind, there's a difference between being killed by your friend and being killed by like a stranger.
For sure. So your senses extend outward, and you find something and grab hold of it, and suddenly you're walking, wearing basketball shorts, carrying a ball underneath your arm, waiting for some asshole in a green Chevy to go past so you can walk. Light turns green, you cross the street, sort of bouncing the ball absent-mindedly, and you hear a voice call you, say, "Hey, hey," and you look over and go, "Uh, hey, what's up?" And you see a man. It's fairly well dressed, dark brown suit with a golden shirt underneath and three or so chains. Pale man, very sweaty, looks tired, maybe sick. You don't want to get sick. You got to go to the temp agency in the morning. And he says, "Please, just for a second, just come over here." And you put your ball on the steps into the homeless shelter. You walk over very cautiously, one hand in your pocket, holding on to your phone, preparing to use it as a brick if necessary. And as you approach this person, he says, "James, right? James Edwin?" You nod slowly, and you feel a surge, almost this trembling vibration that makes the hairs on your arms stand up and the back of your neck. And you sense energy, like that energy that you use to do those amazing things that one night. He looks at you and goes, "Who exactly are you?" Jason, Jason Klein. And you nod slowly and take the hand and shake it. And as you do, you feel a sensation like you're being pulled. Your consciousness, your energy, your willpower, it's all being drawn into this point of contact that you've made. And you see, almost horrified, as you feel your breath, your essence be pulled into this point of contact as well. Almost sorrow on the man's face. She says, "Sorry, I'm so hungry." And as you begin to topple backwards out into the street, as the vision dims and the lights fade, you see a white and green construction truck that says JK Construction on the side before you fade to black and snap back to your own senses. Your hands still sort of tingling from the power of the vision.
Official? I look around, not there.
Nope.
Okay. Fuck. Yana's gonna like kick like the dust and the chalk markings and just mess it all up. And goes to find Fischl. I think she takes out this just old beat up phone and just messages the rest of the group. Found something, could be, or found something. I think we were on the right path earlier, which isn't good. Think we're fucked. And then puts her phone back.
Okay. Official, what was your role for investigation?
I had a question on that.
Yes.
I also have an ability or a power tag called Easily Overlooked.
Oh, I'd say that would definitely apply.
Would that count
Oh,
for here
absolutely.
too? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and then do that. And then and technically, what is the move? Investigate? Would that still be?
Yes, it would be
Okay.
best.
Oh, God. 6.
Okay. So as you're sitting in here, you're sort of sipping away at your water, trying to listen in. It's just people talking about just the most benign stuff. There are some people who are considering There are two white men in there considering to start a podcast, and you sort of think, how original. You focus on another thought, and there's some
Judging them immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And you focus on another thought, and it's just people going back and forth about the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's there's nothing useful to you.
Go ahead and finish his water and toss it out, and head back out to check on Yana.
Gnome,
Yeah.
do you have any physical dice on hand? It's completely fine if you don't.
It's funny because I work for Die Hard Dice, so the answer is I have hundreds of sets of dice on me. Literally here, I just need to go. I can go grab some. Yes.
I just need you to roll me a D100, if you don't mind.
Oh, I can do that on roll 20.
Yeah,
A D100.
D100.
Okay. 87.
Okay, so you exit the Starbucks and begin making your way back over to Yana.
I don't like how you said that.
I don't know what you mean. And I imagine that it's also about this time that Ransom and Samir, you both make your way out of the shelter as well to link up back the four of you. And you all get a message from Thaddeus, and it is a fairly concerned tonality, which you're not sure how he achieves over text, but he says, "Everybody all right?" And you can tell this is a copy-pasted message that he sent to probably every member of the council individually. What'd we find?
Guy Jason Klein works for construction company. We have the name, we have the card. Definitely something up with him. And she kind of like types out the vision that she saw.
Okay. And I would imagine as you're typing out the vision, you're also recounting it to your compatriots who have joined you. And there's pause, and then Thaddeus responds with, "Well, troubling as that may be, suppose we did sort of expect it. I managed to get rid of the police files, so at least they won't be in our hair while we deal with this." So, with that having been said, what would you all like to do next?
I have did my contact respond to me in any capacity about Jason
Yes, they would have responded to you with, oh, Jason Klein. Haven't heard that name in a while. Some college dropout flunky using daddy's money to start a paper mache business or something like that. I don't really know.
I will thank them. Share that with the group in a minute. You said Thaddeus texted everyone?
Thaddeus did, yeah.
So I'd like to ask him if he can get the traffic light camera recordings from the intersection.
And he goes, well, since I'm already here.
All right.
And you all are left standing there after this vision is shared with you. Yeah, I already mentioned the Googling of things. So, how would you all like to proceed? Would you want to, Ransom, would you mention this so that people would wait to see what Thaddeus comes back with footage wise?
Yeah, I would mention that, or I guess I would recount everything that happened inside of the shelter. Like mention that the Starbucks might have footage. Also, that I gave my number to try to talk to the night shift guy, and that my contact says that this Jason Klein guy is a college dropout from money family, and something about a paper mache business.
Um, so when you get the the MP4 that is sent to you, you open it up and begin to watch this fairly grainy footage that is pretty long and pretty uninteresting until Yana, you recognize the white and green truck that pulls to a slow stop across the street from the shelter. You almost get this chill of anticipation from remembering the vision earlier, and then nothing happens. And nothing happens for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, a day, the next morning. You're watching people walk by, and you get glimpses of the person inside. Nice to be the person from the vision, sort of leaning out, appraising people, and then just leaning back in the car. Very antsy, shoots up to look at people as they go by, and almost seems frustrated by the time the day comes. But eventually, you see the man walk across, basketball in hand, and it's odd to see it from this angle, but it's what you saw. And then after that happens, you see the body get dragged into the alleyway a bit further before the man very hastily makes his way back into the construction truck and doesn't drive off in it. Takes the suit jacket off, takes the chains off, takes the shirt off, takes the shoes off, takes the socks off, and walks into the homeless shelter. It's around this time that you guys hear a piercing scream, followed by from inside the homeless shelter as a window somewhere on some side of the building breaks open, and you hear an alarm, like a fire alarm almost, being pulled, ringing loudly. What would you all like to do?
Yana looks at everybody and then starts running towards that.
All right. And the three of you are following, giving chase?
Might be the
Yeah,
best
absolutely.
idea. Yeah.
Samir, you are the easily distracted. You have that tag. So
Yep.
as you are running, you notice that perched on one of the benches in between the different basketball courts, there's a purple calico cat. Sort of just crosses its paws and lays its head down and watches you as you go.
Samir stops. Like, Samir's at the back of the group and stops and, like, sees the cat and looks at the cat, looks at his friends running away, looks at the cat, looks at his friends running away and says, "Well, come on." Like, waves at the cat to follow. "We got to figure this out. You can help me solve the mystery. You're my good luck charm."
And the cat will jump down and follow you. So, as you all give chase across a couple of streets, you can hear the running of this person, whomever it may be. You also are tracking the bloody footprints from the glass that was run over after jumping out of the window, which you saw was on the upper floor, not the ground floor. And you see this man, Yana, even from behind, you can recognize him. There's an energy coming off of him, an aura, just this feeling of dread and unease coming off of him in waves. You don't know if he's causing it or if that's what he's feeling and you're feeling it strongly in response. I need all of you that are giving such lovely chase to make me take a risk. That's what this move is.
What exactly are we taking a risk on?
Oh, I can't tell you that. But if you're going,
Because I don't know what tags to use.
If you are use any tags that you would to that you think would apply to pursuing a dangerous individual. Anything that you think would fall under there, that tag would fit correctly.
Oh, oops. I would have added one, but I got an 8. That's all right. I'll take the 8.
Wonderful GM.
Yes.
So I have a possession,
Mhm.
but can I still use? Would you still let me use the tags from that possession, or
Sure.
like do I have to be with it?
No, you can use the tags of the possession.
Cool.
I would imagine that a lot of your sort of charms that imbue you with their magical ability, you don't need to necessarily have them on your person. They are attuned to you, to use a better word.
Okay. In that case, I also have a tag called near miss, which kind of relates to like dodging and evasive action. That's like the way that I kind of envisioned it.
Okay.
And then, well, I don't want to give you too much of a tip, or give the audience too much of a tip, but in the
Lore.
of this mythos, of the mythos that we're chasing, would they be seen as good or bad? Because sometimes just because your rift is Snow White doesn't mean that you're a good person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I would say that is a question that changes. That is affected by how Yana views the world. And based on what I know of Yana so far, I think that this creature would be considered bad.
Awesome. Love to see it. Don't have to invoke a weakness. Okay, cool. So I'm going to roll with +3.
Okay.
Cool.
And go ahead.
I'm going to roll for take a risk. I'm putting on my power tags of super speed, short range teleportation, and a weakness tag of explosive bursts when I use my super speed.
Okay.
So I'm going to, as I go to do this, I'm going to toss Ransom his phone.
All right. Ransom, what exactly is it that you rolled?
I rolled a straight 7. I don't think any of my power tags would apply to it, but I did pick mobility as a theme, and because this is my first City of Mist thing, I don't know if that factors in at all.
I don't believe it would. It's more of a branch, and then the tags specifically are what factor in.
Gotcha. So then I have a 7.
Okay. And then that is a 6 for Samir. Official got an 8. Yana, what did you roll?
I rolled, 1 minute, I'm doing the math in my head. I rolled a 10 because I used my tags skedaddle, boon, and near miss.
Gotcha.
I did a little luck on myself.
So, Official and Ransom, as you are giving chase to this person. You watch they begin throwing trash cans and different pieces of debris into your way, and you both manage to very definitely duck out of the way of those. But the fireballs are a little bit more difficult to move out of the way of, as these two balls of molten rock, almost looks like, are thrown back towards you, and you're able to avoid them and not cause yourselves any harm, but you are stopped by the process of just sort of having to duck completely out of the way and not being able to run as you're going. Samir, on the other hand, uh, as you are running, outpacing almost everyone included in this entire situation, you are going so fast that you actually catch a fireball as soon as it is thrown right to the chest, and you are boom. And as the two forces meet, there's that explosive burst that was mentioned that sort of like just flattens everything in a nearby range that is on one side of you just sort of bend and bow under the heat and the kinetic force of those pushed outwards, and you are knocked flat on your ass. I am going to give you a status. It is going to be level 3, and it is going to be winded.
All right.
And then Yana, as you are sort of seeing this happen, you you are towards the back of this pack, being probably the least physically agile. So there's not too much magic involved in just seeing like, okay, someone got thrown at that. Okay, now we're doing fireballs, and you just kind of you've got the benefit of being the last for all of these threats that are encountered, and you manage to keep pace with this person as they reach the end of this wall, sort of brick on both sides, and a chain link fence with barbed wire spiked up at the top. As you see this very sweaty man with very cut feet, and across the chest, starting at one shoulder and the other, and down toward the abdomen, there are 3 question marks etched into the skin that revolve around the belly button, would be what you would assume the dot is.
What? Look, I don't know. Okay, you're coming with me. That much is for sure.
I can't.
Are you Klein?
Think so?
Okay, look. Clearly, there's something going on. Like, I get it. We've all been there. You need to take a breather and just come with me, okay?
And you see that he sort of slides down his back against the chain link fence. He says, Okay. And
Okay.
it's about this point in time where the rest of the party manages to catch up and collect themselves, Samir bringing up the rear as you all go. And something is here. Yana, you recognize that feeling of eyes. And you watch as an oddity for midday Las Vegas, but not an oddity to you four, as a trail of in through the gates, settling low onto the ground. Samir, you hear the cat sort of ow and jump up onto your shoulder, avoiding the mist. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'll go wherever. Police station, whatever, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's like a move that I could do. I guess this is to change the game. Okay, straight attack. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna roll to change the game. I'm gonna try to, yeah. So I'm gonna use toil. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna use toil and trouble because I'm casting a spell. I'm gonna use inconspicuous because I'm gonna try to cast a spell to make the mist leave us or leave us alone, like let us sneak out of here. And I'm also gonna use skedaddle because we are trying to escape something. So
Skedaddle. I love it. So good.
Thanks. Okay. 10.
Okay. With a 10, as you cast this sort of non-detection type spell, you almost drawing from not the mists, but the shadows that are clinging to various objects that are tossed around this alleyway. You see the mist that is continuing to roll out sort of recede a bit, and it's been halted. What would you other three like to do, if anything, in this situation?
We want him to come with us, right?
Mhm.
I have a fun little power tag that says cunning negotiator. And I also have my favorite tag, that bag has everything. So I've got like a like one of those little packs of tissues. I'm kind of holding it in my hand idly, so he would see it, but I'm not outright handing it to him. Kind of just like, it's going to be all good. You can come with us somewhere private, clean you up. You'll feel much better.
Okay. You see that the man sort of gets to his feet, and it seems like the adrenaline is perhaps wearing off because he's walking very unsteadily on his cut feet, which appear to be hurting him at the moment. And he is fully willing to come with you all. You watch as the mist, as it comes into contact with some of the shadow, there's a second where the mist and the shadow almost butt heads, but eventually the mist begins to encapsulate and eat the shadow. You get the feeling that it might be time to make an exit. And as you all begin making your way out of the alleyway, you eventually make it back to one of Ransom's many cars that they have. Sort of this very large, something that would be capable of transporting at least 5 of you, which is who you came here with. And you see the man sort of get in and say, "So, who are you guys?"
We'll find out later.
Friends. Question, D.
Yeah.
Is the cat still on my shoulder?
Yeah. It is.
Reach up, give him a little scratch. If he lets me.
Because we are purposely trying to be courteous, Ransom will light a cigarette and hold his box open to Mr. Klein.
You
Want a light?
very quickly take one. Yeah, thanks.
Yana flicks her finger, so one flies out into her hands.
And you see he sees that, and the eyes sort of stay on your fingers for a second and go, "Oh, man." Oh.
Here, have some water.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And he drinks some water and says, "Yeah, just too much X this time. Too much X. I gotta stop speedballing."
Oh yeah, that show will ruin you. Trust me, I know.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
He sort of lays back and nods and he goes, "Yeah, too much X. so much. And he seems to be in some flavor of denial. Official, you receive a text message from Fadi who says, so here's the thing. Alice, definitely a mythoi. Definitely doesn't know it. Might be a legendary, question mark. And you all would know that legendaries they are forces of nature that have come to some form of harmony between the legend and the person, some type of coexistence. But Fadi seems to imply that they may not know that they are a mythoi, which would mean they might be an avatar.
Cool. Hey. So you know the person that found the, and he kind of like looks to our guest, trying to be careful with the words. You know, he's gonna say, the Alice, just the person. You know, they might be like us, just they don't know it yet. Like really like us, like legendary like us.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That doesn't shock me.
Okay. One thing at a time. That's all we can do.
Where are we
Official
going
just
now?
text back. Okay, one thing at a time.
And Fadi goes, yeah, for sure, my bad.
Yeah, for sure. My bad.
Maybe.
Oh, I guess while they're texting, yeah, we've got Jason Klein. It's not great.
The response,
Also mythoid?
the response is the first. It's one of those things where like you send the first text with the first part of the thing, and they immediately respond and like, oh, that's cool. And then you send the following two texts, and they're like, oh, that's not okay. Well, be careful. Ransom asked a wonderful question. Where are you driving to?
We are not taking his
They're not
bloody
alone.
ass to my apartment, so someone else can take that.
We should. And what, you think I'm gonna take him back to my trailer? Please.
Doesn't have to be somewhere we live
As-
as long as it's somewhere.
Can we just go to the council chambers?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Are we allowed to do that?
We are now.
Okay.
Council
investigation.
members?
You do know, for a bit of clarification, you are all equal council members. Thaddeus is the most. People go to Thaddeus the most, so Thaddeus sort of delineates the information, but you're all as open to you as it is to everyone else.
Okay, that works for me then.
And as you all drive off in this vehicle, you eventually arrive back at the apartment, or not the apartment, the council building, which is just a renovated office. You get him upstairs and into what are those old spinny chairs. And he goes, most bad trips I've been on don't really have this much continuity. What exactly is going on?
Do we
Well, we
Have
were
to.
running down an alleyway, and you were there, and you were upset. And it seems like you're going through a lot, so we're just gonna get you some help real quick. You might need a doctor. We have a doctor. Is Doc a doctor? Do we know that? I'm asking this to other players in game.
More medical knowledge than I have, or probably you. So
We're gonna get you a good look over, and then we're gonna figure out what's going on. How are you feeling?
I am confused. I woke up somewhere that I didn't recognize with a lot of people. It was apparently a shelter of some kind, which I've never seen a shelter, much less.
Can you explain the gunshots?
Yeah, some fucking loon saw me and said that I was the person who attacked someone, and they just pulled a piece on me. I haven't been able to do the fire thing for very long, so I just jumped out.
Don't test it right now. I've done that before. I've tried testing things before when I shouldn't. It's really bad to do that, especially in a moving vehicle. Yeah.
All right. Okay, sure. You said you have a doctor. Does he have any methamphetamines? Anything? Xanax?
Maybe we should think about maybe getting you sober.
I mean, yeah, but my feet, they hurt like a bitch.
I could get you some ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen hasn't worked on me since I was 13.
That was what I thought, but I was still gonna offer. Let's get Doc's professional opinion before we give you anything.
All right.
I'll go get them, I guess.
Okay. So, Ransom, you make your way down the elevator. It's quiet. You step through, push open one of the doors. The lights are off. Do you call out for the doctor?
Gonna reach in my bag for my gun, just in case. And then I'm gonna kind of do the thing where you just put your hand in the room and slide the light on.
Okay. Put your hand in the room, feel around for the light, flip it on, and the light flickers and struggles for a second before turning on completely. Peek your head in. Doesn't seem like anyone's there. And from behind you, you hear, "When the day becomes the night, and the sky becomes the sea, when the clock strikes heavy, and there's no time for tea, in our darkest hour, before my final rhyme, she'll come back home to Wonderland and turn back the hands of time." And then the lights flicker on completely. And you hear the toilet flush and the doc come out of one of the side rooms and go, "Oh, Ransom! Hi! Back already?"
Yeah. We got the guy from the business card upstairs. He's a little torn up. He does some heavy drugs too. We want to know if you could. We want to know if you could check him out.
You all right?
Sorry, the lights were off. I assumed the worst for a minute. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I was just taking a shit.
That's nice. Just come upstairs. I got some more work to do when we
Hey, this person uses heavy drugs. Should I give them heavy drugs or keep them away from heavy drugs?
He's asking for like very high levels of pain relief right now. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it might be wise to wean him off slowly.
One other thing. Don't touch him.
Okay. I try not to
Right.
touch people anyway.
That's a thing we shouldn't do, right? So looking at Yana.
Give him my old starter kit here. And you see he starts grabbing vials and pill bottles and shoving them all in a bag.
It's hard to say because he was definitely in a state when he was doing that. And I think part of me is wondering if there's like a split between the two, you know? But I don't. That's Fadi's deal. I have no clue.
Actually, Doc, if you can handle this, Yana, a word?
Okay.
All right, come on, folks. Let's get this man some drugs. And you see the three of them disappear back upstairs, leaving you two in the mortuary.
Make me miss the party, Ransom. What's up?
Something really weird happened. I'm not really into hallucinogens, but I think we're in trouble. I went downstairs to get him, and there was this voice, and it felt like it was talking like right from the inside of the back of my head, and it said a lot of really creepy things about time running out for tea and how eventually they would get her back to turn back time and go back to Wonderland. So I do believe that Alice may be legendary, and further so, it seems that she is in grave danger.
You know, I always thought the whole world ending thing was like more of your deal.
It is! Me too.
Yeah, weird.
I've been shouldering that for my whole life, you know. And it ends up being someone else's fault. I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah, we should. I mean, you know, I just don't. You have a whole world ending thing. I have this whole thing against like young individuals going around having adventures. I feel like we should just take her out ourselves.
But then would whatever this individual or whatever this soul or thing is, would that come back to bite us?
Yeah, but between the two of us, come on. No, you're right, though. We should probably just take care of the girl.
And if they're willing to go through such lengths, I would assume that just giving her over probably won't work either.
No, I think this is going to be a problem. Like a bigger problem.
I did not know if Samir is ready for that one, but we can tap Fischl next.
I mean, the kid's not bad. He's good.
I don't want to make them worried.
Look, I get it, okay? But, you know, we all have to get pushed over the edge eventually. You did. I did.
I didn't say anything to Doc about what I heard. He was just in the bathroom the whole time, so make sure he's out of earshot.
Mm-hmm. Will do. Yeah, because I don't even know what's going on with this Klein guy. Like,
I have a theory, but I don't think it's anything that we've seen before. In, I guess, my culture, or in my last life, or however you want to look at it, we had a figure who was a shape changer, and his entire purpose is to cause chaos. And it seems to me that some changing of skins is going on here without the consent or the consciousness of the next body in line.
That's a theory. But the kid can do things on his own. The fireballs and all of that.
But he said that that's recent.
Yeah.
I think maybe it transferred.
Yeah. Could also just be can only possess one of their kind, you know?
That's possible.
I don't know. And then there's always the possibility that, you know, it's someone like me and they're just casting spells. Possessing. Inhabiting. So
How come you don't know any of those, huh?
I'm plenty powerful, okay? I don't need to take it from you. I don't need to hear it from you. I am plenty powerful and you know it.
Can't take a joke.
You know, fuck you. I'm the best damn witch you know.
As the bickering comes to a close, the camera pans up a few floors to Samir, who, as you're sitting and waiting for the doc to finish up their preliminary inspection of this person, the cat curled in your lap, purring gently. The cat says, "What is your name?"
Oh, you can talk. That's really cool. My name's Samir. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
It's so nice to meet you as well. My name is Guide.
Oh. Are you here to guide me somewhere?
You know, the name's sort of a misnomer. I'm actually looking for directions. I'm a bit lost.
Oh, who are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my father.
Your father?
Yes, he's a fairly large bloke. I think you knew him if you saw him. His name is Charlie.
Charlie. I don't know a Charlie, but if you want to hang out with me, we can try and find him together.
Indeed. I believe I'll stick around for a while. And
Scratching at the chin.
as the cat sort of purrs and rotates its head into your hand, its head continues to rotate and rotate and rotate until it stops. It smiles that wide smile at you again and says, "My, how I love new friends."
That was a really cool trick. Do you think you can teach me to do that?
We will get along swimmingly. And I believe that is where we will end the first episode of All or Nothing. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their time and enjoyed this peek beyond the veil into the world of Rifts and Mythoi. We can do some lovely outros, starting with Bella, who you can follow on Twitter at Boondoggles. She is lovely. We love you, Bella. We will see you soon next week. And moving on to RK, who played Samir tonight.
Hi, I'm RK. You can find me on Twitter at Russ Wildest. You can find me professionally GMing on Start Playing Games. Currently both of my campaigns are full, but I should be opening up a new one later this month. You can also find my podcast, which is on hiatus, at Prism Pals on Twitter. It is an all LGBTQ+, family-friendly, all-ages podcast.
Wonderful. And then we will move on to our lovely Fischl, who I just absolutely adore all the characters in this game. But Fischl's mother, that's MVP so far, is just I've
I
lived that
promise
life.
you'll see more of her.
I'm not Jewish,
Just like,
but I
like a
assure
good
you.
Jewish mother. So
I assure
she's just
you.
gonna pop up on the, no, I'm talking to my boss. Like, my name is Gnome. I'm into his Twitter, Instagram at Nomadic. I do TTRPG things in TTRPG spaces. Words are hard tonight. I'm here Saturdays. If you want to wake the fuck up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, you can catch myself, Eris Savad, and Wally132 talking shit. Just not really. We just amp each other up. We are literally waking up. It's the morning talk show. We talk TTRPGs and literally anything else that decides to fall out of our mouths at that point in time. But it's a good time. Let's come hang out. Do other games, mostly space games. They're all sci-fi. It's all on Twitter.
Yeah. And then we can slide on over to the ever lovely Liv.
Hello. My name's Liv. You can follow me on Twitter at liveinaday. That's where you can see the things I do. I'll run it down super quick. Mondays, I'm under the table over at Total Party Chill, where we play The Veil and all other indie TTRPG games. On Tuesdays, I'm in too deep at Rule of Lore, LGBTQIA+, D&D, be gay, do heists. On Wednesday, I'm exploring the Black Void with Weave the Tale. Black Void is like a eldritch horror space opera situation. I'm also on Wednesdays going to be doing Pasión de las Pasiones over on Off the Table, which when I say I'm excited for that, I'm so excited. That debuts this Wednesday. And now I'm over here back in the City of Mist, just a different city this time. And I'm so excited. Side note, when I very first played City of Mist, I was like, this is how tags work. And then I wrote all the tags. I was like, this is not how tags work. I was like 5 sessions in. I was like, this is not how tags work. So I feel very powerful to have written better tags. I don't know. What are good tags? It's really hard, but that's me. That's what I do.
Wonderful. And then lastly, but never leastly, we have the lovely Arcane Goth himself.
Hi, I'm Max. As Dee just said, you can find me on Twitter as Arcane Goth, or most platforms that I would want you to find me on. That is the username. And GMing professionally with Emerald City Game Masters Guild. You can book me through them on their website or their Twitter. You can also find me long-term on Saratoga by Night, which is currently between seasons, but it is available on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on Spotify, all the places. If you like hot guys with guns, like I'm the person, you should watch that stuff because that's all I do. I'm not versatile.
Amazing. And then, hi, I'm Dee. I have been your master of ceremonies for the evening. I am a streamer, musician, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild. If you like my voice and you want to romance me as a vampire, you can buy Crimson Spires. It's a visual novel made by Woodsy Studios, available in Steam. I play one of the lead romance options, Julian Batale. You can also find me on Mondays over on Weave the Tale, where I will be a part of a Great American Witch game with a couple of other lovely people doing that. Critical Misses is currently off season. Thank God I can sleep. And on Fridays, you can find me over on Chaotic Pod, that Twitch channel, where I play Maltion, which is a completely normal half-orc bard. No. Yeah, that's all of my stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at It's Deriddler, Ler at the very end, not LA like here on Twitch. And thank you all so much for coming out and joining us and enjoying this game, sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Thank you so much to Explain Trade for sponsoring all 4 wonderful episodes of this show that you are going to hopefully be watching all the way through to its conclusion. And thank you to Diana for letting us do this on her channel, because they're great. And I've been wanting to do stuff over here for forever, and I finally got to do that. We're going to go on a raid. We are going to hit up Persephoroth. Anybody who knows Steffi's the best. So just go in there and rain down some hearts. Oh goodness, what should our raid call be? All or nothing. Just all or nothing. That'll be the raid call.
All in.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time for the second installment of our 4-part story, City of Mists, All or Nothing. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.